Hello everyone. Welcome to PSOpinion, the video series where I share my opinions about PSO2 NGS. Today I'd like to talk about my opinion regarding the content we've received since SEGA's launch this year. SEGA Part 2, so to speak. I've got to be honest, so far I'm really loving what SEGA is giving us. There are a few things that aren't as well executed however, and I want to talk about that. I originally wanted to make this video just about Dark Falz Aegis, but decided to wait and expand it. Let's start out with the Neusen plant. I really love this combat sector. The enemies and gameplay gimmicks rotating in and out make farming a lot more enjoyable. The buffs you gain after each PSE burst speed things up further, making long periods of grinding less of a drag. It is by far the best combat sector we've had so far. I wish SEGA would go back to older sectors and implement some of the gimmicks from Neusen into them. For example, Mount Magnus could probably benefit from the jump pad gimmick. I also really like the changes to Geolab. The quest is now much easier to S-rank by mediocre players like me. Previously it required way too many difficulty modifiers for S-rank. Just thinking about fighting Ikusa Bud Gene with any difficulty modifiers just gave me anxiety. Thanks to the difficulty decreasing modifiers, I actually managed to A-rank consistently and the quest doesn't take forever to clear. The loot still needs some improvements, but I think making things more enjoyable first was great regardless of that. The new alpha reactor spawn locations are much better, and the new 24-man limited quest is really fun. The drop rate kinda sucks, and for some reason region mag buffs don't work. But as long as I'm having fun, I don't really care that much. Dark Falz Aegis is by far the best urgent quest we've had in a while. I really love how when you pick up the mobile cannon and start bombing the shit out of Dark Falz Aegis, the controller vibrates like crazy. It always surprises me how much game feel the rumble feature adds to games. Nintendo really was onto something with the N64. The voice actors all do a fantastic job in giving this battle a sense of urgency and desperation. I was almost convinced on my first playthrough that Dark Falz will escape again. Garoa giving my character a push actually made me cry. Which is weird, because the prologue is so long ago for me that I don't even remember any of his dialogue. Despite this, it was still a fantastic moment to add to an already very climactic battle. Unfortunately, one thing really sours the experience for people right now, and it's the Neos Integra exchange. In order to get Neos Integra, a material item, you need to drop a Neos Astrian weapon from the Dark Falz Aegis UQ. Neos Astrian weapons are not tradable, so you can't just buy and exchange them if you're unlucky. On top of that, if you drop a preset skill on a weapon you don't like, you can't sell it or transfer it to a weapon you'd prefer to have that skill on. Multi-weaponing can be used here, but it's not a perfect solution. This system borders on being as poorly designed as the Blizzardium exchange. People with bad luck are really not having a good time right now. To fix this, I'd propose a few small alterations. First would be to introduce a pity system for those unlucky Arcs defenders who don't get a single weapon after 30 runs. My condolences, by the way. A pity system could be something easy like having a guaranteed Neos Integra shard drop. You could then exchange 3 or 5 shards for a single Neos Integra stone. It's not perfect, but at least you'd be wasting less of your time if you can't get a single weapon drop. Next, to fix the Fixa issue, I'd propose to enhance the Fixa transfer system to encompass weapon series instead of just the exact same weapon. This way, if you get a Fixa Fatale Katana and you don't play Braver, you can just transfer it over to your wand or other weapons you're using. I'd also suggest copying the Infernium shop a bit, and include a more expensive version of Neos Astrian but with Fixa Attack 3. That way you don't have to feel too bad about using a Fixaless weapon in case of bad luck, while still having room to grow by getting Fixa level 4 and 5. I think if SEGA handled it like this, there would be far less people having a bad time. Next issue is the UQ schedule, or lack thereof. Shortly after the launch of DFA, we had a Ultra PSO2 day. This only happens once a year on February 2nd and 22nd if you're a premium player. It's a massive boost that would even increase Fixa drop rate. Perfect to grind this quest, right? Unfortunately, in the last 24 hours of PSO2 day, Dark Falz Aegis only spawned twice, and that was on a Saturday too, so most people had spare time to play the game. This was really upsetting as it felt as one of the 3 days of PSO2 day were wasted due to lack of a UQ schedule. I know we're gonna get a schedule on February 15th for a week or two together with quest triggers, but I think SEGA should have moved the schedule to launch week instead. Once we have triggers, the schedule will be a bit redundant in my opinion. I know people are also sour about the change to the block system. I haven't experienced any noticeable issues with it myself, so I can't really comment. Anyway, that's all I have to say on these matters. I'm sure the devs will take all of the feedback into account, as they have before, and try to improve in the future. But overall, I'm having the most fun I've had with NGS in a while. I really feel like the game is on an upwards trajectory right now. The story especially is finally asking questions I wanted answered for a long time. I really can't wait for Chapter 5. What's your opinion on SEGA Part 2, as I like to call it? I'd love to see everyone's opinion on that matter. I hope you all had a fantastic week, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care!